Hello students, today I will be teaching you mathematical physics and I will start from the basic concepts of complex analysis. So I think you have already studied about the introduction for the complex numbers in your previous classes being 11th and 12th standard. So I will start from the very basic definition of what is a complex number. Let me call a number which is represented as Z. If you remember, it consists of two parts, x and y part, where जो x है that is real part and the second one is y which is imaginary part. Okay, and जो तीसरी चीज़ आपको दिख रही है यहाँ पे that is I, which is by definition as equal to square root of minus 1. So now I will discuss the origin of this I, which will be pronounced as iota. So for the origin of this I, like why do we need this? Why do we need these complex numbers? Why do we need the imaginary numbers? So where did we arrive from these numbers? So let me help you with some example. Let me take some quadratic equation. X square minus 1 equal to 0. So if you want to find the roots for this equation, you will get to know that x plus minus 1. So there are two roots you can see. So आपको दिख रहा है कि total number of roots are 2 and degree of the polynomial is also 2. So you can see there is a direct correspondence between number of roots and the degree of the polynomial. तो यहाँ तक क्या था, यहाँ तक कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी, मतलब यहाँ पे क्योंकि सब कुछ सारा काम जो चल रहा था अपना रियल एनालिसिस में चल रहा था. सभी जो नंबर आ रहे हैं, जो रूट्स आएंगे वो रियल नंबर्स ही आएंगे. मगर प्रॉब्लम कब आती है, देखो, इफ़ आई इंट्रोड्यूस प्लस साइन हियर इंस्टेड ऑफ माइनस, सो व्हाट विल बी इट लुकिंग लाइक? एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस 1 इक्वल टू 0. अब क्या होता है, इफ़ आई वांट टू फाइंड द रूट्स फॉर एक्स, so it will give me x square minus 1 and after that it will give me plus minus square root of minus 1. And now from the very definition of this I, which is represented as square root of minus 1, so it becomes plus minus I, so pronounced as plus minus iota. So now you can see that is the origin which requires for further evolution on mathematics at the physics level. So you will be encountering these complex numbers in like quantum mechanics and many applications in Fourier series and many engineering sciences. So that is beyond our scope. Now let me discuss about this Z, this representation which is already in Cartesian coordinates. Now I will shift this representation into polar coordinates. So polar coordinates में क्या होता है, there are two coordinates r and theta. अब वो मैं आपको बताऊंगा डिड्यूस करके कैसे आप आती है वो representation. So let me draw a circle. These axes, so this x-axis and this is y-axis. Center of the circle is origin, and let me take some point P having the coordinates of x and y, and now let me draw the position vector of this point, and let me call this vector having the length of r, and also जो angle बना रहा है vector, let me call it as theta. So the direction will matter here because it will be considered a positive or negative depending on the traversal cycle of this angle. लाइक यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, जो थीटा ले रहे हैं दैट शुड बी टेकन एज एंटी क्लॉकवाइज सेंस। अगर एंटी क्लॉकवाइज सेंस में लोगे तभी पॉजिटिव इसको माना जाएगा। अगर आप उल्टा कर रहे हो, मतलब पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में ले रहे हो, सॉरी अगर क्लॉकवाइज में ले रहे हो तब वो नेगेटिव हो जाएगा थीटा। तो आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा थीटा शुड बी ऑलवेज बी टेकन इन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन। सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, नाउ यू कैन सी if I resolve this vector along x axis and y axis, so it will become like it will have two orthogonal components। तो यहाँ पे जो r है उसको मैं क्या लिख सकता हूँ, r will become square root of x square plus y square, because you can see these are the coordinates of point P, x and y. So this is known as the modulus, or you can see absolute value of this vector. Now the second one which defines the direction of this vector, which will be given by tangent theta. So tangent theta, from the very definition you know that it is perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular यहाँ पे क्या है, ये लेंथ इतनी है, this is y, और जो बेस है अपना x एक्सिस पे which is x. So from now on theta will be deduced as tangent inverse of y upon x. अब यहाँ पे क्या है, अगर सेकंड रिप्रेजेंटेशन की जिसकी बात कर रहा था मैं, इसको जो कन्वर्ट करना है z को पोलर फॉर्म में, तो वो कैसे निकलेगी, यहाँ पे x और y यहाँ पे मैं पुट किया है, तो आपको दिख रहा होगा कि जो x है वो क्या निकल के आ रहा है यहाँ से, इसको रिजोल्व कर रहा हूँ, जो थीटा जिसके साथ बन रहा है x एक्सिस के साथ, विच विल बिकम एज r cos थीटा, और जो y वाला पार्ट है वो क्या बनेगा, r sin theta. So you can also verify from the corresponding formulae of cos theta, sin theta. Like cos theta is base upon hypotenuse, so base is x, hypotenuse is r, and sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, so which will give y upon r. Now I will put these relationships in this expression of z. So my z now will become, if I put this, z equal to r cos theta plus iota r sin theta, and if I take r common out of this, it will give me cos theta plus iota sin theta. Now this term, this which is in the bracket, इसका कुछ नाम है, which is known as Euler's identity. So this will be becoming as, this has a relationship with exponential term which is represented as e raised to power iota theta. So this is my second relation to write the complex number in another coordinate system. So this is our preliminary and reconceptualization of the complex numbers, and we will discuss the next details in a further chapter. Thank you.